Hey, good morning. This is Marcus Solar over at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Want to thank everyone for joining us this morning. We're going to be holding a webinar this morning on the Retirement Analyzer software program, a needs-based retirement income software package. We have some hosts this morning, or co-hosts this morning, Steve Goldstein and Brooke with us this morning, the creators of the program. So let's go ahead and get started. We have some awful lot of information to cover in the webinar this morning. As we go through, if you have questions, please go ahead and ask your questions in the question box down below on the right side. We will try to answer those as we go. We also will have a question and answer at the end of the webinar this morning. Again, my name is Marcus. My last name is Solar. I'm one of the annuity directors here at Insurance Agency Marketing. I am the contact person within the organization here when it comes to the software program. So I will be following up with each and every one of you after the webinar this morning to see what additional questions or how we might be able to help you and your practice grow in 2017 with regards to this software or any of our annuity or life insurance solutions. So let's go ahead and get started this morning. Again, thank you for taking time. This will be a recorded webinar, so if you do have a client come through the office this morning and pull you away from it, if you would like a link, when I do reach out to you after the webinar this morning, if you'd like a link to the recorded webinar itself, please indicate that. I will be more than happy to get that out to you so you can listen to the webinar at your own convenience. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, Insurance Agency Marketing Services has been in the business for 30 years. We do have what's called a new producer bonus program. This is, in fact, in operating order for the first 180 days that you are licensed or contracted with us. There are 3 separate levels. While you are contracted with us, whether it's $100,000 of annuity premium or single premium life premium, you do qualify for this new producer bonus all the way up to $500,000. Once you do choose one of these items, the program does shut off, but it is a way for us to say, welcome aboard. Thank you for contracting with Insurance Agency Marketing. Let us help you refill your pipeline with either a Social Security program and 3,000-piece postcard mailing system at the $300,000 level, or if you are just getting started within the business and you write $100,000 with us, we can help you out with a 2-year subscription to a website and newsletter service or an iPad latest generation. Or if you are an established producer and you hit the $500,000 level, you can either choose either a 5,000 or 4,000 piece mailer and some seminar coaching by one of our 2 top producers, either Matt Gill or Dave Pimper. Or if you'd like to take a Rich Carlton travel rewards, make your own personal getaway, you can certainly choose that as well. Again, a nice way for us to say thank you, welcome aboard, and we look forward to many years together to help your agency grow. We do and have announced our top producers escape in 2018. It is going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Boulders Resort and Spa. Qualification can be any of the combination of either your annuity premium, single premium, life target premium, Medicare supplement, or long-term care premium. So if you do $2 million, you do qualify for our trip. This is an excellent opportunity to rub elbows with some of the best within the industry, learn what they're doing to really grow their agency, take their agency to the next level, and get some of the trade secrets within the industry and grow your practice at the same time. We do have our creative services department here within Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We do bring this to the table as an additional value add, a way for us again to say thank you for working with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Depending on where you are within your practice, there are several different levels that we can certainly help you out. We can either help you with marketing fundamentals, the package, whether that's logo, business card, letterhead, envelope, or brochures, all the way to custom image branding, which is print advertising. If you want to get into videos, copywriting or editing, email marketing, TV, radio. The choice is yours, but we can certainly meet you where you're at and help you achieve or grow to that next level within your practice. We do have the insurance email newsletter. What we have found is 86% of internet users age 65 and older do use email. Again, it's a way to keep your name, your brand in front of your clients. We do have several different newsletter samples within our marketing department. Our marketing department is very good at helping you set up website lead forms. We do have client management tools and email newsletters to keep that point of contact open and alive with prospects and clients alike, to keep the referral crank going as well. The people that you want to speak to is, again, our marketing team. You can certainly reach Jen in our office. She heads that department up. You can reach her at 1-800-255-5055. We do also offer, it's an industry recognized life and annuity training academy. This is a 2-day training academy that happens or is going to be happening in May over in Des Moines, Iowa. It is going to be co-hosted by another or one of the industry leading insurance carriers. We are going to be covering several different points of contact over that 2-day period. We're going to be talking about consultative sales training. We're going to have specialists talking about insurance product knowledge. We're going to be touching on client relationship management tools, business consultants. We're going to be talking about business insurance concepts. Mark Raymaker's here in our office is going to be talking about single premium life, industry best income riders, and wealth transfer tools. We're going to have 3 or 4 of our top producers there talking about prospecting, what they do to keep their pipelines full with prospects to see, what they're doing to keep their practices at the top level, and doing, $10 to $12 million a year in production. Again, it's a way for you to find out what they're doing, how they're keeping their agency, how they're gaining referrals year in and year out. Also, we're going to be talking about sales software tools like the Retirement Analyzer as well. So, and those out there that are looking for the Series 65 license, the RIA, and insurance agency marketing does have wealth management as well. We're going to be talking about all those topics at this one event. This event, like I said, is going to be taking place in May. This is an event that does not cost the advisor any out-of-pocket expense. It is going to be, like I said, co-hosted between the insurance carrier and insurance agency marketing. What I'm going to do is put a poll question out there. If you are interested in getting some more information on this, please indicate that. I will certainly follow up with you after the event, but it is going to be an all expense paid trip for those that are interested in attending. So I will go ahead and leave that poll open for a few more moments here, but there is going to be no topic that will be left or uncovered at that event. I do appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that poll at this point in time. I do appreciate you taking time to answer that. And we're going to move right along. We do have paperless contracting. It does save you time. It is a lot more efficient once you do fill this out online. It makes us available to help you with contracting in the future. It is all done electronically. It does save our advisors a lot of time and headache. So it is a way to really speed things up from a carrier standpoint. A lot less mistakes are made. It is a lot more efficient. We do have our website, which is available to our advisors 24/7. You do and can go out there and do life insurance quotes. We do have all of our rates out online, forms, industry links. It is a great tool for you on the weekends when you are meeting with clients or on off business hours. It is available for you 24/7. If you have any questions on that, I'll be more than happy to address that with you. after the webinar this morning. We do, like I said, we have launched our insurance agency marketing wealth management. It is an insurance-friendly asset management solution. We have built that with the advisor as our top priority. Charles Hearing Jr. is running that part of the organization. For questions directly for that, you can reach him at his toll-free number of 888-255-7670. He will be able to answer more questions directly tied to the wealth management portion of insurance agency marketing. And that's something that we have launched here in 2017. We do have a retirement analyzer. We are going to be talking about that today. That's a reason for the webinar this morning. Like I said, Brooke and Steve are going to get more into that in great detail here in a few minutes. So I'm not going to cover too much of that, but it is free. We do pick up the cost for that. There's a 30-day free trial on that. We can get more into that here in a few minutes as well. But it is a great opportunity to sit down with your current and existing book of business and really ask the tough questions like, can I continue my present standard of living into my retirement years, and really project whether or not what changes need to be made, or if they can live out the lifestyle they want on their terms. We do have the Easy Money Now, which is a referral producer program, and our marketing reimbursement program. What we do is we put $200 of marketing reimbursement per $100,000 of premium into your marketing reimbursement account. It is a way for us to share in the cost of your practice for expenditures that you do have. And for every producer that you refer to us, you get basically $50 when your referral contracts with us. You get $100 when your referral does business with us, and then you get an ongoing percentage for the business that they continue to write with us. So if you have 3 producers that do $1 million with us, that's basically $6,000 cash for you in your pocket. A few of my advisors take that money, turn around, and put that back into their marketing budget. So really their referrals pay for their marketing budget each and every year, so that's not additional revenue out of their pocket. So what I'm going to do at this point in time is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Steve and Brooke. Again, they've been in the business for a very, very long period of time. They've both been advisors in the field. They are both securities licensed. They have made several different changes to the retirement analyzer software. They've really taken a lot of time and energy to think from a client's perspective, along with an advisor's perspective from a software standpoint. So I, again, want to thank them for taking time out to talk to you this morning, and I'm going to go ahead and change it over to them. Good morning.
Hey, Marcus. I just need to be able to show my screen, that's all.
Yep.
There we go.
You got it.
Can you see that okay?
Yep.
All righty. Brooke, you want to start?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thanks, Marcus. Thanks, Imes, for having us. Marcus said a few key things in my mind. Steve and I are both securities licensed guys. We've actually sat at the dining room table. We do what you do, and I think that truly gives Retirement Analyzer a different feel. Okay, the one thing we strive for is creating solutions that are simple. It's literally not going to take you hours to build a profile. I know there's a lot of our competitors out there where it just takes a long time to get anything done and really complete. So we strive to keep it simple. We strive to really provide you solutions, again, that are simple and that really bring everything together. The other thing that's refreshing about Retirement Analyzer is we keep it product neutral. Okay, so you can plug any product or any concept into this program and really make it shine. You can do managed money, you can do annuities, life insurance, long-term care. The cross-selling opportunities are endless. The last thing, with it being called Retirement Analyzer, a lot of advisors want to know, is this really geared toward that retirement age of client? And no, it's definitely not. Steve and I use this for every client that we sit down with, regardless of whether they're 20 years old or 80 and already retired. Any net worth also. So what we're going to walk through today, and it's just really an overview, is just a sample file, okay? what I want you to know is training is huge for us as well. So we'll talk to you about all of the different training platforms that we have available. Steve?
And guys, basically understandable is another word that goes along with simple, okay? I mean, you have people, what are we dealing with today, right? We have these people with these very, very short attention spans. And you have to get in there and you have to help them understand before their mind starts to wander. That's really what we're doing, right? So we're going to keep it simple, right? Brooke and I have done what you guys are doing. We do it all the time. And we see clients' eyes glaze over. They don't understand something. So we spend a heck of a lot of time simplifying and then even after that, simplifying more. Okay, it's a shame we have to do that because we're very detail oriented, but you know what? That's what the market needs right now. They need to know you got to get in there, you got to gather the facts, and you got to show them if they're going to be okay in retirement. When they get there, if they happen to live to age 100, okay, are they going to be okay? That's what they want to know. Then they want to go off to soccer practice or wherever else they have to go, for their kids. It's a busy, busy world. And that's why this solution that we're about to show you makes a heck of a lot of sense because is it comprehensive? It sure is. Does it look simple on the outside? It sure does. Because you have to, if they check out in your appointment, you don't close. That's just the way it is. All right. So we write it simple looking. And we just want to make sure we get that point across. So when it comes to training, if you're thinking about something new, we understand the commitment of it. Okay, so let's get started here, right? Quick clips. Any part of the software you have a question on. Now, there's 9 tabs we're going to show you in a second. But any section you have a question on, you can get us almost 24 hours a day. Or you could just click a quick clip. And then basically what you have to do is just listen to a 2-minute recording. And it'll tell you how that section works. Thomas Gold Talk is our community of almost 4,200 advisors. And what you can do is anytime, 24 hours a day, chat. Now, you don't know who's going to answer you, right? But we monitor this basically 24 hours a day. You have a question, you get an answer. You want to post that, you need some new functionality. Can you make a change in the software? Post it there, right? We have 8,400 eyes on the software. It's beautiful. It's a community. We all get better together. And everybody participates in Thomas Gold Talk. Power Hour and Success in 60, you'll see when we jump into the software, there's a light bulb here. The light bulb pops up when we do daily training. Yeah, we do daily training every day, 10 to 11 Central, live, no agenda. You make the agenda, okay? We just open it up and we start talking, right? We'll answer your questions. You want to bring a file? You can share a file. Power Hour is Monday through Thursday, Success in 60 every Friday. Success in 60 is a treat because we're able to bounce ideas off other advisors in the industry. These are big time advisors that use our software program. They have 1,500 client files built into the software. They're on these Success in 60 calls. Okay, so you want to compare notes? Take advantage of our training, 10 to 11 Central every day of the week. Our power line here, if you can't, we're open 8 to 5 Central, live voice, right? Everybody on that line is licensed. So we might find a couple of things in your file that to help you take advantage of the client relationship and cross-sell. We do what you do, okay? It's powerful. Virtual track training right here, interesting, okay? This is once a quarter, comprehensive course, meets 2 times a week for an hour and a half, total of 12 hours of education. It goes on for 4 weeks. It's convenient. You stay in your office. You stay at home. Jump in front of a computer. We record every session 90 minutes, and basically we roll your sleeves up appointment training is what it's all about. And that's what we do. Okay, when you come out of that class, it's a $299 charge, and I'm not here to sell that class to you here on this. We're not. Okay, it's a $299 charge. You pay it once, you come back free every quarter from then on out. We have so many people that have been through this program, and you hit the ground running when you're done. So if you want a crash course, and I'm not even going to call it a crash course, it goes for a month. Okay, but you'll be ready to go when you're done that class. Okay, and last but not least, sorry, Brooke, go ahead.
Just a quick reminder on that class, guys. The next session we have is coming up in April, and it starts on April 4th and goes through the 27th. So it's every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Central. But all classes are recorded, so if you can't attend every one, not the end of the world, but we do prefer you to attend live if you can. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Okay, and then by going through all this and using everything we give you, right, because we're going to try to make your life easier, right, we get you answers whenever you need them. You become part of our community, Retirement Analyzer Advisor community. Again, it's almost 4,200 deep right now. Just want to let you know. Okay, that's our training, and we throw that out front because we know that it's going to be a commitment to actually make a change or start using this? Again, Brooke, what is it, like 3 or 4 or 5 times through the software you start to feel comfortable?
Yeah, and it just depends on, your level of, your comfort level with a computer. I think for those that are tech savvy, we're looking at 1 to 2 times. You should be able to build a profile in 20 to 30 minutes. Now, for those of you that are maybe not as comfortable with the computer, maybe 3 to 4 client files. But guys, it shouldn't take you forever. And the beautiful thing is we'll hold your hand through every step of it. Okay. Now this here, and Marcus touched on this, but there is a free 30-day trial. If you're actually giving IMS production, they foot the bill for you for a permanent subscription as well. So you can contact Marcus and he can give you further details on that. What we're looking at today is the Pro Plus version. We do have 2 versions of the application. We have a Pro version that is for insurance licensed only. We have a Pro Plus version that we have a FINRA letter on. So if you guys have broker dealers, things like that, not a big deal. We can get you that FINRA letter, no problem. Now the news and talk page is where you'll see top news stories. So it's going to keep you informed about what's going on in the financial world. You also can see the markets there on the right-hand side. So nice one area, log in, check out what's going on. Thomas Gold Talk is right here in the middle. This is a great space for you to be able to ask questions 24 hours a day. Okay, it's kind of got a Facebook feel. Again, it should be easy for you to use. You can post articles, questions, success stories. You can see a lot of people use this. They pop a lot of information in here. The next space I want to jump to, and just quickly I'll touch on a few key areas of it, is the locker. And this locker houses all of the surrounding material. So if you're one of these, I want to take this, study it, do it on my own people, then click right here on the self-study. We have videos, we have questions, quizzes. It'll walk you step by step through every area of the program, ensuring that you have thorough understanding. Okay, so that's a self-study. Now, for those of you that maybe the software part and the data entry part isn't as tough, but maybe you're having a hard time grasping how to build in a certain concept, let's say, this case studies section, if we can go back, the case study section here is awesome. Okay, it'll look at if you're trying to show a client when to start Social Security, or maybe the importance of actually detailing out their budget. You can see there's a ton of different topics here. These are all things that Steve and I faced often with our own clients. So we did a recording. We show you how to set up the file, how to plug in the concept, and we give you a printout. It's all there. Okay. All right. One other thing, if we close this window, I want to go to the middle locker or materials section. We have all of the appointment forms that go hand in hand with the retirement analyzer. So I know a lot of you have your own fact finders, but what I would suggest is use these here if you can. It just makes it so much easier when you're trying to plug numbers into the software. So first of all, we have a client starter pack. Steve and I typically send that out 2 to 3 weeks in advance. Make sure the client's prepped and they're not wasting your time on that first appointment. Okay. Now, budget worksheets, we have, like I said, fact finders. It's all here. You can customize every one of these templates as well. So make sure you check out the appointment forms. Okay, let's head back to our clients list. And I want to actually start into the sample file for today. Guys, I'm going to roll through this quickly. If you have questions, post them. We will have a brief Q&A at the end of the call. Now, in the Pro Plus version, we have 3 input tabs, 3 output tabs, and then 3 solutions tabs. Okay, so tab 1 is looking at income. We, in the top section, can build in all employment income. We can look at FICA, Medicare. We can look at hypothetical retirement dates. In this example, you can see Gary and Jenna are really shooting to retire in January of 2023. Okay, we can tell them literally at the click of a button, guys, if they can afford to do that. Center section is looking at Social Security. In this example, you can see this is a basic benefit that we're building in. But our program can handle those advanced strategies, whether it be file and suspend, widower benefits, it can handle all of it. Okay. Now we have lots of little quick tools, I call them, sprinkled throughout our application. Let's check out the Social Security calculator in particular. Now, I know this is something that every single one of us should be able to crunch on our Texas Instruments. Okay. I know we can do it. but again, you have to do it. So what we did here is we created this little calculator. It's going to pop up. It's showing you Gary's year of birth, his full retirement age. So all you'll need to do when you sit down with him in the first appointment is pull directly off of his Social Security statement the full retirement age benefit amount, $21.50 in this example. We plug it into the calculator and take a look below. It's showing us every single age for Gary and the benefit he would be eligible for at that time. So the great thing about this calculator is if he wants to retire at an off age, maybe 64, let's say, that's not printed on the Social Security statement, so that's why you'd have to crunch that number. Well, here we do it for you. We're just trying to make it easier. Okay, let's close out of there. Bottom section, looking at pension benefits, you can build in everything from the gross monthly benefit to COLAs and survivor options. Let's jump now to tab 2. Tab 2 in the top section is where we can include retirement assets. Under tax classification, if we look at the drop down here, guys, what I want you to notice is we handle all types of taxation, all types of accounts here. Same thing with investment vehicle. We handle everything from a checking account, mutual funds, managed money. You can see it's all there. Now, our program, we keep the risk conversation quite simple. Steve and I feel pretty strongly, it's pretty easy to get a client in with the deer in the headlights look. They glaze over. So what we do here is we say, what, is the money at risk or is it low risk? Okay, we'll show you how that plays in down below. Values, monthly contributions, okay? Now we have a section for additional assets. You can build in home values, artwork, whatever the case may be. And then we have a SPIA and an income benefit annuity section as well. We'll show you more examples of that here in just a moment. Let's head now to our risk section. And what we're doing on the left-hand pie chart is looking at the client's current allocation. This is dialed in automatically for you based on what you entered in the top section. Okay, so most of their money, 72.1% of their money is at risk right now. Okay, and what we're doing is we're comparing that to the right-hand side, which is the client's desired allocation. Now, this can be tricky. You ask a client, how much money do you want at risk percentage-wise? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to just be able to rattle off a percentage there for you. We have risk assessment questionnaires, things to help you or help really them come up with that percentage. Okay, right-hand side, we look at rates of return and really the portfolio information totals. One thing I want to point out, bottom right corner, we have a question. What is the client's minimum retirement funds? And this is an interesting question to ask clients. You learn a lot. Are they worried about leaving money to their children? Is there an amount that if they don't have it in their checking account, they're going to hit the panic button? Or we've even had clients say, what, I started with nothing, I want to end with nothing. I'm not worried about leaving anybody anything. So it's a good question to ask. We'll again show you how that plays in here in a moment. Let's move to tab 3. Tab 3 is where we tackle expenses. Okay, so top section, you are able, if you sit down with the client, and this will happen, guys, a client's probably not as much today as 12 years ago when I started doing this, but you are going to have clients that resist the budget, okay? They'll want to say, what, Brooke, I spend $7,000 a month. You can use a clump number, but boy, with the DOL stuff coming up, I think it's probably more crucial than ever for you to know the details about their budget so that you can give sound recommendations. We've got a budget worksheet in here that is awesome, in my opinion. This thing is completely customizable. You can see here, you can list out expenses. You can, we do have a template here to start with, but you can totally change this. You can show inflation rates per item. And we built this because a lot of clients, when you sit down, obviously their mortgage most of the time is not affected by inflation. But then they'll say, what, I'm nervous about healthcare. Is it growing at 5 or 6%? Well, yes, we statistically can see it's growing faster than most other items. Okay, so fine, build in 5 1/4 like we did here. Again, you can show start and end dates. Very, very flexible budget worksheet. Let's go ahead and close this up. We do have a liabilities section. You can show home mortgages. Hopefully they don't have credit card debt, but unfortunately most people nowadays do. You can plug that in. And then the bottom section, future cash flows. This is where we tell them to dream, go shopping, whatever it is that they want to do. Maybe it's college funding for their grandkids, or maybe it's dream vacations. Plug it in. Good news, guys. At this point, we're done with data entry. Like I said, for those of you that are a little bit computer savvy, we're talking 20 to 30 minutes to walk through these first 3 tabs. And that's while, you're not that comfortable with the program. I know Steve and I can build profiles much more quickly than that. Let's move now to tab 6, and this is your primary output tab. This is really going to consolidate everything on those first 3 tabs and bring it together and give a client a snapshot of where they're going to be based on what they're doing today. Now we can see here a yellow line appearing in 2045. That is where I asked the question, is there an amount that they always want to have on reserve and never go below? Remember 50,000 in this example. So right here, when those retirement funds drop below 50, it's a caution light. Now red is where the retirement funds are exhausted. Okay, so at 86 and 85 years old. Now, I know it doesn't seem like the end of the world, but guys, let's face it, people are living longer than ever before. Okay, so ideally, Steve and I try to push this red line basically off the page if we can. Now, here's the thing. We call this step 1 in the 3-step sales process. Show them where they are today. Now, what we're going to transition into is step 2, where we create balance. Now, the big thing here is we're not creating balance through plugging in product. We're going to create balance through showing them how to maybe work a little longer, spend a little less, contribute a little more. It depends on their situation and what's feasible for them. But Steve will show you what we're going to do in this client sample.
Okay, so you ready, guys? Let's do this now. We're going to do a 3-step sales process. And again, under the hood, we're doing just about everything you could possibly think of, okay? On the surface here, looks real simple, right? We're going to make it even more simple. So watch this. We're going to work off of this page right here. Now this page, this is really a carbon copy of what you just saw in the software. Now what we're doing is we're actually taking 4-line charts, right? Because we have all the information in the software, but on the printout, you don't really need it, right? Because you're talking to them with the software, and you want to just basically show them the differences between what they look like today, and then we're going to start to make some suggestions and then move this forward, all right? We're going to try to make some suggestions as advisors do. Advisors advise, right? And that's really what we're supposed to do, having the client's best interest at heart. Let's take care of them here and make them look like this versus this, and then we can try to add a product to enhance. That's what we're going to do, okay? So I'll show you how to do that. Watch this now. I'm going to show you how to get from this step to this step. So let me just close this here for a second. I'm going to jump back into the software. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go, and then let me just show you one other thing here too. This here is basically what was printed out on that page, you could see. All right, now you're able to note. You can do whatever you want here. You tell the story. All right, we're not going to do it for you. You do it. Okay, if you have a client that wants to see one move at a time, show them one move at a time. You could put 25 different charts here, and it's all going to print out nicely, 3 per page. But tell the story. And these things build on each other. So again, this is what they look like when you first sat down. You make some suggestions. You add a product. You keep going. Take the moves out they don't like. Add the moves they do like. Take care of them. Okay? So let me show you how we do this. Watch this now. I'm going to go into our sample. And what I'm going to do, actually, you know what? I actually hit the hold on for 1 second. It's amazing. All right. And I'm going to show you this later, guys. Just give me 1 second on that one. All right. Here we go. Let's view our sample. And watch this. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go to the income tab. And we got some suggestions. Okay. Now, in this day and age, right, people could live to 82. 20 years in retirement could seem like a long time, right? All right. So let's push them back a little bit. Let's go to 26. Right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to push them back 3 years. Okay, let's go into the Social Security benefits, and because we're working longer, watch this. I'll go into the calculator that Brooke showed you, and I'm going to drop them down to age 70 and just see what it looks like. We're trying things here. Okay, so I'm moving from 65 to 70, and I click Save, and now the 70 benefits are automatically copied out here. Okay, and let's do one last thing. Because we're big Roth fans, okay, we're worried about taxation. Because we did such a great job on the budget, we're going to have them contribute the maximum amount into a Roth 6,500. They're over the age of 50. So 6,500 divided by 12 is 541, right? Just while they're working. 2 Roths. Roth here, see them? New contributions. That's all I did. And to do that, when I go to the retirement tab, let's see what we have. We have 103,502. It looks a little bit better. The red line's gone. Okay, the red line's gone. So let's go back to our printout and let me show you what we did. Okay, and this is exactly what happened in the software. Okay, so what did I do? I had him retire 3 years later, began Social Security at 70 instead of 65, had all the numbers in there, right, just from the FRA. And then we can, just because we did such a great job on the budget, and we think the budget is the cornerstone of all financial planning, if you're not doing a budget, I don't see how you could possibly tell somebody what they look like. All right, so we did such a nice job on the budget that we knew that they could contribute to Roths while they're working. And look at the difference here, right? I mean, this is big, right? We're talking 15 years later, and they don't even have a red line, and they have money. If they happen to make it to 101 and 100. Read an article the other day that there's supposed to be over 500,000 people over the age of 100 living in this country by 2060. People are living longer, as you guys know. All right? So basically, you're giving advice here. You're making it better for them. Now, if they can't do these 3 things, they want to do 3 other things, that's fine. Structure the plan according to them. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to add a product to enhance the situation. This is where you call items. Okay? Let's go to the Assets tab, and let's note that we have a little bit of a problem with the pie chart. See them? The one on the left is what they have. The one on the right is what's suitable for them after they answered our risk assessment questionnaire. So we have to make this one look like this one. Okay? Watch this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this Gabelli Funds mutual fund right here, and I'm going to click the plus sign here. And this is going to give me the ability to make this a guaranteed income benefit annuity right here. So you see what's happening here? You see it? This was a mutual fund. I moved it into a guaranteed income benefit annuity, and all I have to do is pop some information in. Now we're looking at auto feeding and stuff like that, and that's great, you know, but right now what you have to do is just call IMES, get the illustration, and take 2 numbers off the illustration or 1 number off the illustration and go from there. All right, and let me show you how to do that. Watch this. Now again, Brooke said we're product neutral. We are. Okay, let's take a look. Let's just say I take the 200,000 and I defer it for 10 years, and it's going to throw off 20,361. Okay, now this is a guaranteed benefit right here. All right, 20,361. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that by 12, and I'm going to come up with the number 1697. We feel like these show better monthly, so if they have to take it in January and use it for the rest of the month's costs, we're going to use 1697 right here. Okay, and the benefit start date is going to be 3/2027, 10 years from now. Now, we could put an increase if we want. We could put a rider fee in if we want. We can do whatever we want. But the 200,000 is in the annuity account value, and it's going to start paying $16.97 in 10 years. Okay? Let me click Save and Close here. Now, watch what happened. The Gabelli Funds piece, or the investment, or the account is gone. You say it's gone here, and where it is it's right down here in the Guaranteed Income Benefit section. Okay? Now, what else happened? Look at those pie charts. So you're kind of getting the feeling that we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Okay, so now we have the pie charts more exact. Not exact, but close to being more the same, right? We're up by what, 1%? 1%, basically. That's much closer. And then all we have left to do is go back and take a look at the retirement tab and see what happens here. And you see the number 368,232. Okay? And so that's how you make the sale, right? Off the 3-step sales process, you're moving through and you're noting everything. All right? That's how it works. I go back to my printout here, and I have a different number because I was moving some stuff around, but that's how you make the sale, though. You see what we did? Watch this. Tell me if this is easy enough to understand. This is what you look like, Mr. and Mrs. Klein, after the first appointment. Okay, if you could do these 3 things, and tell me if you can, how about you work a little longer? Okay, how about we take Social Security to a different age? And how about let's contribute to Ross and max them out while you're working. You look like this. And if we had a product, okay, and this is February, that's why I had to move this up to March, right? Begin income in February of 2027, it would be March, okay, that's 368 that we had. But look at the difference, though. Now, if you're a client, you're sitting there and you're looking at this on 1 page, you tell me what you would do. And again, this is guaranteed, this rate. I'm not saying to go put some kind of hypothetical number in there. You can if you want, but you better make sure the client understands that. If you're going to put in like, $1,958, that's fine. You have some risk. We use the guaranteed number and we make things look this good. And you got the pie charts and lines, so don't forget that. And that's really how you do it. Now you do it this way with annuities, you do it this way with life insurance, and you do it this way with long-term care. Once you actually get this all locked up, watch, let me show you. If you have tab 6 looking this good, in other words, basically here's how the software works. You input 3, you make 6 look good in case they live to 100, and then you start throwing the darts, firing the guns. What happens if one of you is not here tomorrow? What happens if one of you needs long-term care? What's the other one going to look like? And what happens if the market cracks? And Brooke will take you through that in a second. But our whole goal here, if you can't get a couple or a client looking good on 6, you're going to have trouble with 7, 8, and 9. If you have a red line on 6, you got to do some talking to that client. Change of behavior. So things have to be done to make it better. And what we specialize in doing here at Thomas Gold is helping you with the suggestions to make. We know how you make them. We know you know how to make them. We'll show you how to input them into software and show quickly what the effect they could have, if that makes sense. Okay, Brooke, you want to talk 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, and we'll just go through this really quickly. So basically, based on what you've already built in, you can click on tab 7. It's going to really look at, and we'll use Gary in this example. It'll look at Gary passing away and how that affects Jenna. Now, we do a ton of crunching numbers under the hood for you. We look at, for example, with him passing today, we lose his salary, we lose his contributions. In retirement, we would lose the lesser of the two Social Securities. It'll look at guaranteed income benefits, whether they're joint or single, payouts, that sort of thing. So lots of number crunching, like I said, that we do under the hood for you. All you got to do is click on this button, and it's showing you the insurance needed. You can see in this example, the $847 and change. That is what is needed in order to protect Jenna, and vice versa. Now, you can very quickly go in here. You can assume you buy the insurance and show a client, if they do what you recommend, here's how it's going to protect your wife. Okay, so great kind of concepts like this. Let's very quickly move now to tab 8.
Brooke, you want to just show how we're selling the exact amount of insurance? I'm sorry, I just went through that. That's okay. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, no problem. Yep, we can buy the insurance. Again, like I said, we can show the client that you're not over-insuring them, that is actually the appropriate amount of coverage. So lots of good concepts like that. Okay, let's move now to tab 8, and on tab 8, it's a similar type of concept. Basically, you're looking at, what, Mr. and Mrs. Client, everything looks good today throughout age 100, but what happens if one of you has to go into a long-term care facility? Statistically, we know 1 out of every 2 people do. Okay, so right here, again, we help them with the average cost in their area. Okay, so we look at this on a per state basis. We pull lots of statistics here. They can actually click right here on average cost. We can see in this example, the client lives in Tennessee. They can use those default values if they want to, but if they want to plug in something else, by all means, they can type and override these numbers. But again, 6296, looking at Gary's age of 80 going into the facility, the national average is 79.5. So we round up and say age 80. Cost increase percent statistically, we know it's growing at 4.35%. The national average is a 2.5-year stay in a facility. But guys, this is where you want to ask the question, because dementia, things like that, the stay can be much, much longer. So kind of see what their family history is there. That study that we use, you can find on the average cost. It's very helpful in showing the averages per symptom, let's call it, okay, or per disease. So what we're showing them, again, is what the costs look like when they actually go in the facility. So over $17,000 a month. A month is what this is going to cost. Okay, now back in our middle section, the other thing we show them is the total long-term care cost. Notice in this example, $887,900 there on the bottom left-hand side. We show you that number because it seems as though everybody wants to roll the dice with long-term care. So we're just going to show them, if you go in a facility and you do not have coverage, here's the amount lump sum it would take to pay for it. Okay. Now, middle section, we show you the solutions as far as what they would need to purchase benefit-wise. And then if we scroll down on the bottom, we're showing them exactly what it looks like plugged into their plan. So we can see here they have the 4 years of care. We can see highlighted in yellow there. That's where they go in the facility. By the 4th year of it, they're totally out of money. Now, you see how their funds go to zero, and then in the next year, they jump back up? That's because, unfortunately, we assume that people pass away upon exiting the facility. Most people don't get out of long-term care facilities alive. So we can see Gary passes, his death benefit pops in. That's why Jenna has some money. Okay. All right. Last but not least, let's jump to tab 9. This is our market comparison tab. You can use this, in my opinion, kind of one of two ways. It's going to default for a 10-year block of time, and it's looking from 2000 to 2009, and that's 10 years, believe it or not. But it's going to basically pick up the market returns during that period. We default to that because that is the most dramatic 10-year chunk if you look all the way back. Okay? So what we're doing on the left-hand blue side is we're saying basically, what does tab 6 look like? We can see they're averaging between a 3.5% rate of return, and they had plenty of money all the way out to age 100. Now, on the right-hand side in yellow, all we're doing is we're taking the at-risk money only. So only the red money, okay? And we're applying the market returns that you're seeing in yellow. And by doing that, we can see after 10 years, look at the difference between the two sides. 853 and change versus 469 and change, a difference of over 384,000. And that's only looking after 10 years. Let's keep scrolling down, and I want to show you where on the blue side, you see how they have money, again, all the way out through age 100, where on the yellow side, now they're out of money in 2055. So this kind of makes, a reason why they should maybe move more money conservatively. Watch this, though. For those of you that are doing manage money, look at how you can flip this the other way. And I just want to make sure you understand this. If we pick a different 10-year block of time, let's look at the 90s. Look at that thing swing in favor of the market. Now we're in favor of the market by $1.4 million. So you can use it either way. Huge difference at age 100. Take a look there. Huge, huge difference. Okay, so all sorts of good things like this. Steve, anything else to add there?
No, but I want to talk about, now let's talk DOL a little bit, okay? Let's spend maybe 5 minutes on DOL or whatever because it's important. You have a client profile here, okay? And you also have goals and notes in here, okay? So you're able to take notes and take the goals down in the initial appointment, and anytime they change, you can make changes in here. But you're able to save all the goals, okay? And you're also able to save notes, and we highly encourage you to note every meeting, okay? Once you're done with the goals and the notes, okay, we can understand if you have a long-term client relationship, your notes, you could have many of them, right? Watch what you can do here now. Now, we have this new archive, and you're able to archive your scenarios, your printouts. You're able to actually bring across, documents into a section. I'll show you in a second. But watch this, though. If I want to select all these goals, and I want to move them to the archive in the goals section, okay, I can do that and see how they disappear. And if I want to select the notes right here, and I want to move them to the archive, they're moved, and I keep my workspace clean, okay? Understand that, goals and notes, they can change, and you need to keep track of them. All you do is go over to the archive here, okay, and you open up your notes section, and they're here for safekeeping. The goals are here. Okay, now you can move them back and forth if you want now, okay? But you sort of want to lock these things up, don't you? With a date on them to show that you've actually talked about them and you're writing the plan accordingly. Or when you're talking notes, this is what you did in each one of the meetings. So have this. This archive is very, very good for that. Now the statement section and the scenario section, you can save any scenario you want. If you have 15 of them, bring them over to the archive section and you can save them. Okay? printouts and statements, you'll have the ability to actually keep all the printouts that you send to your client and all the statements that they have, that they give to you. Maybe they're Word docs or PDFs or whatever. You'll be able to use them and bring them in here and drop them right here. Okay? We're giving you a spot to really organize everything about that client. You'll be able to email right out of the software to the client. Be able to do that, right? This archive section is different than the regular section of the software, okay? Because we want to give you a place to store everything, all right? Because we know long-term client relationship, you're going to have a heck of a lot of stuff, and so you'll be able to store that here, okay? Brooke, you want to talk about the integrations and things, or did I miss anything on the archive?
No, guys, we are currently rolling out integrations. We have RedTail complete and done. So for those of you that are using the RedTail CRM, we do have an integration for that. All you'll need to do is call in and we can turn that on basically on the admin side. For us, we turn it on in your account and you'll see it in there. The other thing we are in the process of completing right now is an integration with Riskalyze. So that's the next big one that will be launched. We'll kind of keep you posted on that. But for those of you that are currently using Riskalyze, basically on tab 2 of our program, you will see it integrated there. The risk assessment piece will change in our program to match what you're used to in Riskalyze. So we're pretty excited about that. So lots of good stuff coming. We are continuing to integrate with more and more CRMs. So we have just a few done right now. But if you can let us know, what CRM you're using, if there's one in particular you would benefit from, we will put it on the list. We're constantly polling our advisors and making sure we're building stuff that most of you can use. So let us know. Outside of that,
okay, guys, one last thing I want to
say.
Oh, did you have another one? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No problem.
I want to talk to you about one last thing, though, at least from me, from my standpoint, and it's something called client link. Now, look at the scenarios that we have in here, okay? And there's 4 of them, and they're yours when you use the software. What we want to do, okay, is give client. Let's just picture this: you have a meeting with a client, annual review, and you fix it, and you add up everything, and you update everything. What we're going to do is we're working on giving the client access to a scenario that you decide on that they can see, okay? And we're in the process of talking to people where we're going to get auto price feeds for the investments. So let's just look at this for a second. Let's just say the IMS web was the scenario that you let the client see, okay? And all these assets here, you see them? And I know you guys know that this is out there, will be auto-updated for you and for the client. So the client could sign on anytime they wanted, and they could see a 2-pager with what they look like and where their red line might be, or how much money they would have left if they make it to 101 and 100, and how it changes. Okay? So I don't know how you feel about that. Maybe you tell Marcus how you feel about that, give us some feedback or whatever, but they're going to be able to pick one scenario to come in, and it won't mess your scenarios up. Okay? One scenario, they'll come in, and they'll look at it, the prices will be updated, and they could see what they looked like 3 months ago and what they look like today. And they could see the changes in them. Okay? And then a lot of it's going to come from right here at the bottom of tab number 6. How has their whole picture changed? And we believe instead of having a client, going into 27 different investments to check out, how they moved up and down, why don't we show them the whole picture? So this client link, again, a 2-pager, the client will be able to jump into the software, have their own sign-on, and be able to see the 2-pager. It's a comparison page, where they were before, the last time they looked, and where they are today. And just the numbers, like how has this changed? Do you have a red line or not? Did you have one before? What's the difference? And so we're in the process of getting started on programming that now. Shouldn't take too long to do. Sorry, Brooke, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No problem. All right, guys, that really concludes, I think, most of the material we had to present today. I know that we did hit you with a lot. You've hung in for a whole hour, so we appreciate that. The one thing I would say, sit down if you're new to the program, get the trial, use yourself as an example, run your numbers through the program, give us a call on the power line. Like Steve said, we have live training every day from 10 to 11. We're here to help. Marcus, I don't know if we have any questions and or follow-up from the audience.
One question that popped up, Brooke, was, Does anyone monitor the notes and archived information out there when Steve was going through that? And I don't know how you guys would answer that, but that was one question that popped up.
We are not monitoring it. Now, for the integrations that we have, Redtail, let's use as an example, the notes will be pulled over from Redtail and sync if you want them to be. They don't have to be, but it definitely can. Now, that archive is meant for you to be able to really just clean up your workspace. So, you know, I know for clients that you've worked with for maybe 10 or 15 years, the amount of information can get quite lengthy. So that's really the purpose of the archive. It will go a long way, though, with the DOL and keeping track of notes, locking them down, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right. The other questions that have popped up are just, you know, people that want links to the software and links to the webinar that we had this morning, and I'll be more than happy to get that across to people. What I'm going to do is just pull a question out here on people that want more information on the software itself. If you can go ahead and answer that, I'll be more than happy to follow up with you after the webinar this morning. But if you do have additional questions, go ahead and put your questions out here. I'll be more than happy to ask them directly to Steve and Brooke this morning. But again, I do appreciate your time.
And Marcus, one last thing while people are maybe popping some questions in here. I got to tell you, I don't want to sound overly salesy here, but I am unaware of the better support that you're going to get from a financial software company than ours. And if you're thinking about it, all right, you don't really have anything to lose with a 30-day trial, because if you sign up for that, you get the whole kit and caboodle. You get it all. You're able to come to the Power Hour classes. You're able to call the power line. We'll spend time with you just as a trial, okay, just to get a feel for what it's like to be part of the Retirement Analyzer community, okay? So I think it's a pretty good offer, and then you'll get a feel for what it's like at Thomas Gold here. A little different.
Absolutely. I'm not getting too many questions for too many people. What I would do is just say thanks for everyone joining us this morning. If you do have additional questions, I'll be more than happy to follow up with you. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that poll question. One other question I'm going to throw out there to everyone is we did touch on the DOL. We did touch on insurance agency marketing, wealth management. One question that we do have a question here is about your Series 65 becoming an RIA. If you do have some interest in possibly pursuing that angle as well, that is a hot topic out in the industry today and in 2017. Again, we do have the resources here to help you out with that. If you are interested, please let me know, and I'll certainly have Charles Hearing Jr. certainly get in touch with you. But again, we do appreciate you taking time to listen into the webinar this morning, and I'll look forward to following up with you after the webinar. Anything else you two would like to add this morning?
Just thanks for your time, guys. Really appreciate being with you here today.
Okay.
Yep, agree. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, one question somebody had, and again, we can touch on it real briefly here, but if you are contracted through insurance agency marketing and you are doing a business through us, we do pick up the cost of the program, but I just got a few questions on, outside of us picking up the cost. You want to share how much the program is going through you guys directly?
It's $70 per month.
Okay.
If you want to contract directly, yeah.
We're offering the linkages as we roll these integrations out for free. The linkage part of it right now as like an introductory type thing. So just take Redtail for instance, right? There might be a small charge down the road, but if you're with us now and you want to link up with Redtail, obviously you have to pay your Redtail bill and our bill. But there's no charge right now for the two programs that talk to each other.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I appreciate your time, Steve and Brooke, as always, and I'll look forward to following up with each and every one of you on the webinar this morning. And again, thanks for taking time.
Thanks.
Have a good day.